Hey, what's up, VC? It's Steve again, Harmless Rebel, and it's time for another album review. Um, it's been some time since I did an album review. I get quite a few requests to do them. The issue is when I get albums, a lot of times I'll sit in my inbox, in my piles, for months and months before I get around to listening to them and listening to them enough to have an opinion. And that's not the case with this album. Sacred Reich is one of my all-time favorite bands. They're a hometown band for me. I've seen them a bunch of times. They're in Phoenix. Their album Heal is not only one of the most underrated thrash albums of the 90s, it's one of my favorite thrash albums of the 90s. And it may be my favorite of their albums, which is saying a lot because Independent and The American Way are both amazing albums and both considered thrash classics. They've also got Surf Nicaragua, which is probably one of the three best metal EPs of all time in my opinion. And I was just really excited about this album, but I wasn't sure what to expect. You know, you never know. It's been over 20 years, almost 25 years since they released Heal, which makes me feel extremely old. I went to the Zia Records the day it came out and bought it. And played it nonstop, and I can't believe that was 23 years ago or 24 years ago, whatever it was. But like I said, I was really excited to get this. As soon as it came in, it went to my turntable without even cleaning. I just took the brush to it, and I've already listened to it 3 or 4 times. And let me say, it does not disappoint. I highly recommend picking up this album. If you're a Sacred Reich fan, if you're a metal fan, if you're a thrash fan, it's a great album. Usually I would say, especially as of the last few years, that these newer albums, I wouldn't recommend them as an introduction to the band. I'm not going to say that with this one. This is a really solid album. And although the Surf Nicaragua EP is amazing and Heal is my all-time favorite, or my favorite of the Sacred Reich albums, this is a great starting point. These are all solid albums. You got some thrash, you got some straight up metal. Lyrically, the band does a killer job on this. They sound amazing. I read somewhere that their new guitar player is younger than, or he's 22, so he's younger than their last studio album, I guess. Which I find kind of amusing, but that's also kind of cool. But man, song to song, just a killer album. I purposely held off on listening to this until I had it in. I saw the video for Awakening a little bit ago, which was the lead-off track. If you like that track, you're going to love this album. I think it's not the worst. There's really not a bad track on here, but it's not my favorite track on the album. Some great tracks. The real standouts for me are Divide and Conquer, Salvation, and Killing Machine. Absolutely amazing. Killer lyrics. What's really cool about this album, for Sacred Reich specifically, is they've always been kind of a far-left band, which, when I was into them in the late 80s and the 90s, I was a young guy in my late teens and then early 20s when I was really into them. And my politics were right in line with them. As I've gotten older, I'm in my 40s now. I'm definitely not that same guy. I'm probably a right-leaning independent at this point in my life. Definitely more libertarian than anything. And what I love about this album is it's not a left album or a right album. They're not shooting down either side. It really is direct shots at the government, which is what I really would like to see from more artists, instead of taking one political stance, especially when a lot of times those political stances are based on, I don't know if I would say misinformation, but just misguided information. We've got the media and the politicians purposely trying to divide us by, race, color, gender, political ideology, religion. It's ridiculous what's going on right now. And that's exactly what the song Divide and Conquer is about. And in the album, they get into the point that, we need to stop looking to government to fix our problems. We need to fix ourselves. And by fixing ourselves, we can fix the problems around us, which I think is a really important message at this point in time when we're getting the exact opposite. everybody's looking to the government to fix this and fix that, and the government's just going to make things worse. Killing Machine, really good. Anti-war song, directed at the government though, not directed at the troops, which I really like. Just song to song, this album is killer. Again, I can't recommend this one enough. This is the clear vinyl with black splatter. I didn't know I was getting this. I pre-ordered it on Amazon, basically to save on the shipping costs. Usually I would pre-order through the Metal Blade. They did have some other cool colors. What was really funny though is the most limited pressing is they're just the regular black vinyl, and I think they're already going for like $50 I saw, which I thought was amusing. And that one comes with a poster. This one does not. Another thing that's kind of interesting about this one is if you see you've got all the Buddhism or the Buddhist imagery here. You got the lotus here, and I don't know if the guys in the band are Buddhists, but there is definitely a bit of that message in a few of the songs, like Something to Believe, and was it Manifest Reality? Or maybe it was Salvation. But it was really cool. You know, it wasn't something I was expecting, but it was something I really digged. Again, I highly recommend picking this one up, guys. Like I said, if you're into thrash, if you're into Sacred Reich, definitely. But if you're into thrash, if you're into straight up metal, it's just a really solid album. And I really just can't say enough good. I really don't have anything bad to say about this one. I really did love every track on here. So there you go, guys. Awakening from Sacred Reich.